If you've ever said to yourself, I'm just not good with money, let me stop you right there. It's not that you're bad with money, you just haven't been taught the systems that feel natural to you. And so, in today's video, I want to show you how having a simple structure can actually set you free. Hey there, my name is Chica, and I'm a CPA, and I help growth minded women entrepreneurs simplify their numbers, strengthen their systems, and build a business with purpose. If you're ready to lead your business with courage and clarity, then you're in the right place. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, and make sure you share this video with other like minded women in business. So I have a story to share with you. When I first started my business over 15 years ago, I said yes to everything. I was such a people pleaser. Anytime somebody needed help, I said yes. You needed a tax return done on April 14th? Sure, I can do it. Oh, you need to form a nonprofit? I've never done that before, but sure, we can do that. Every time somebody sent me a DM about some type of opportunity, I gave it a chance. Why did I do that? I don't know. Social media was new. I don't know. But I was new. I was new in business and I just wanted to learn. And that's actually a great attitude to have when you're just starting your business. But at the same time, you want to be discerning. And back then, for me, I was 25 years old. What I thought was good business sense was to say yes to everything, was to hustle and to figure it out later. Say yes now, figure it out later. That's what I thought. And in my first year of business, I think my revenue was like, it was $30,000. I made $30,000. And as a new business owner at the age of 25, I had just quit corporate America. I'm like, oh, wow, $30,000 was actually good because I was charging like $200 per tax return. So basically nothing. I was charging nothing and I still made $30,000. So you can imagine just how busy I was to make $30,000 in that first year. And I was also very, very exhausted. I was so tired after that first year, after that tax season. And you can imagine I was saying yes to clients that didn't align, saying yes to work that I had never done before. And those deadlines drained me. And it wasn't the deadlines themselves, it was me saying yes only days before the deadlines to take on a new client. Okay. And here's what happened. At that point, I literally had no rhythm in my business. I was just reacting to any email, any DM, any phone call, any text message. Okay, 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 I got it, I got it. There was no rhythm, there was no structure. And every time I would wake up to loads of unread messages from all different places, whether it was the inbox, the DM, a text message, like I was just a porous soul, just oozing my energy to anyone, to everyone. And I look back and I'm like, what was I doing? I can't believe I made it this far, actually, because anybody would have just quit at that point. I can't believe it's been 15 years. But what changed was how I started to show up in my business. I knew that the way I started was not sustainable. Saying yes to everything, not having systems, not sustainable at all. And I kept everything in my head, everything in my head. Oh, that person was born in 87. Okay. Again, I had great memory back then, but even still, like, that is not the best way to treat your memory. You need systems. You need systems. It felt like my brain was a computer browser with like 45 open tabs, which, by the way, that still happens, but that's not the point. One morning, when I was still new in business, I woke up. I remember sitting at my desk I was looking at my calendar and I realized this is not what leading a business looks like. My business was leading me. I was being carried and dragged every which way. I wasn't the business owner. I wasn't the CEO. And it was that morning that I realized something had to change. That was my turning point. And I knew that working harder, I didn't need to do that. Like I had that checked. It wasn't about working harder. It was more about becoming more organized, being organized and working smarter. And so I knew that with organization, it turns into a rhythm and a flow, right? It's like, okay, a new email came in. Someone is asking to, they needed a CPA. Cool. Let me give them the link so that they can apply to work with me, or at least send them the link to book a call. Great. Handled. Once they book the call, I see the email that they booked for 2 days from now, 3 o'clock. Perfect. Easy. Not in my brain. It's already on my calendar. So you can imagine how I slowly started to just relax and exhale with simple systems, simple systems. Okay. Now let's talk about the lessons that I learned. So when I finally started building those systems, again, just having a calendar link is it's something that anyone can do. It's so easy. I think all those tools probably cost $5 a month, $10 a month. So some of them are free. They have free versions as well. And so those simple systems shifted everything for me. And everything didn't shift overnight, right? One by one, whether it took months for me to do the next system change, but it became one of those things where once you save a little bit of time and energy in one area, you get excited, like, what else can I do? What else can I change? Right. And I realized that with systems, I think that word can pack a lot. We think of systems and we're like, oh, I'm not an engineer. And it's like, wait, what? What does systems have to do with an engineer? Like, we all have systems. We all have systems. Even a 15-year-old teenager who I don't know, what do they do? They have systems around their video games. They know how to like put each video game in order, right? That's a system. So we all have systems. You are not exempt, okay? Now, what I want to do here is let me tell you three different systems that completely change how I lead my business. And these are simple things that you can do today. So the first way is I call it the weekly CEO money hour. And so for me, that's on Friday. So Friday, and I love this, every Friday in the morning before lunch, I pour a cup of tea or a cup of coffee, whichever I'm in the mood for, depending how early I start. I make sure that a candle is lit. Like I think you can see a candle in the background. And I just feel at Zen. It really like softens me up and it gets me like really just relaxed, right? My little tea, my candle, and I open up my software. So for me right now, it's QuickBooks. Back in the day, I use spreadsheets, right? So whatever you use, you open that up and spend 30 minutes. You can set the alarm if you want to, just 30 minutes, and you just check your business finances. So during those 30 minutes, what I like to review is I like to see, okay, what money came in that week? What was my income? I also like to look at what expenses were paid out, what left my accounts that week. And I look at what's in my account. How much money do I have in my account at that point? And it's not about being perfect, right? I'm not looking for a certain number. I just want to know. I just want to know. And that's how simple it can be when you start, just knowing what are the numbers looking like. So that's what I want you to know right now, that yes, it can get a little bit more involved, it can get a little bit more complex, but ask yourself, are you just looking at your numbers once a week? minimum once a month. See what came in, see what went out, and see what the balance is. That's it. That's it. Okay. Just having that rhythm of seeing your money clearly is going to allow you to just, be at ease, hopefully, or you can even just plan for more, right? And when you tend to be more at peace about it versus panic. Because when you don't know, it's like, even if the money even if the numbers are not what you want it to look like, you're still a little bit less panicked about it knowing. And if you don't know that that's actually true, I need you to try this out and leave a comment below and let me know how it goes for you. Again, just the weekly CEO money hour. You are the owner of your business. That means you are the CEO of your business. No matter how small, no matter how new, no matter how young, you are the CEO of your business. So I want you to know that. Okay. Now, let's get into the second thing that changed how I led my business. The second thing is a separate business savings account. This is a game changer. Now, I'm not talking about a business checking account, right? A business checking account, that's usually your main account where you have everything linked to that account. That's where the money is going out when you have bills to pay. And generally, it's going to be the same account that links to the income that goes into your business, right? So that's different. What I'm talking about is having a business savings account. And this is a game changer because for me, the way I use it, every time money comes in, right? So every time a client pays me, what I do is I automatically transfer 30% of it to a savings account. And this is, again, a savings account that's linked to my business. And the reason for me to do 30% is because generally that's going to take care of my taxes. So I put that money, that 30%, into its own account. And what this does for my mindset is instead of me thinking during tax time, I hope I have enough to pay taxes. Instead of that, I say, oh no, I know I'm covered. I know I'm covered. Can you imagine the difference between, I hope I have it, to, oh no, I'm good. Girl, what you talking about? Like, I'm good. Next. Next up, right? So it's such a game changer. And some people, instead of opening a separate savings account, what they'll do is they'll just open up a second business checking account. And that's fine as well. You can do either or. But the key is separating or having a separate account that's for your taxes only. Because the last thing we want is when that tax bill comes and it's time to pay, you're looking around like, shit, where's the money? Right? So for you, whether it's 20% of income, because let's just say you're making less than 100K a year, so maybe 20% makes more sense. Or if you're making more, 30%, maybe even 40% of income makes more sense. And it depends. You can generally work with your accountant to figure out the percentage or just allow, like, okay, after one quarter goes by and you make your quarterly estimated taxes, you can see what that percentage was, and then you can adjust that number the next quarter. Okay, so just know it's not a one time situation. Like you can always adjust. You can always adjust. You're never locked in. Okay. And then the third thing that I did that changed everything was having one home for all my numbers. And again, this has changed through the years. For now, I use QuickBooks. So QuickBooks is my one home, my one stop shop for all of my numbers. And I think just starting off, having one home is easy. It's easy, it's effortless, it soothes your nervous system, right? And let's say that you're just starting off and you're not really wanting to pay for a bookkeeping software. That's 100% okay. Let's say you're using Google Spreadsheet, Google Sheets. So if that's what you're using, your one stop shop, your one home for all your numbers is going to be that spreadsheet. And you want that spreadsheet to have a section of income, right? So what's coming in each month. You want a section for your expenses, what's going out each month. And then that's the bare minimum. You can subtract that out. So whatever comes in minus whatever goes out, that's your profit number. You can subtract that out. And so what you would use to figure out, okay, well, what came in, what went out, you'll also need access to your bank account statements, right? Your bank statements, because your bank statements will show every transaction. And then you can enter it onto a spreadsheet. Or these days, many banks will actually have a way that you can export from the bank login system and you can export it into a spreadsheet. So there's different ways to do it. And there's so many templates that are out there so that you don't have to create the spreadsheet on your own. And we'll talk about that a little bit because I have something for you if you're interested. Okay. And I want you to know that again, it doesn't matter if you're using some kind of app or if you're using a spreadsheet. What matters is you like what you're using and you understand how to use it and you're using it consistently. Okay. I like to call this one home. I call it your peace dashboard, right? It gives you peace knowing your numbers, right? Because it's not about what the numbers look like. There's a certain peace that comes just knowing, okay, this is what it is. Now it's time to get to work. And that was literally me earlier today, right? We're at the end of the year. I'm like, oh, okay, okay. But then my brain was churning like, oh, I know what to do. I like to bring the numbers up, to bring my revenue up. And now I'm excited again. It's giving me peace because I know exactly what to do. And honestly, I would have just been living in la la land had I not had this system of looking at my numbers each week, right, on a regular basis. So there you have it. These are three simple systems that I just talked about. One, the weekly check in. Two, having that separate savings account or just a separate checking account where you transfer money for taxes. And then three, having a home or a hub for where your main numbers are stored. So whether it's a spreadsheet, whether it's QuickBooks or some other software, those three systems change how I run everything. They change how I do business. These three systems gave me the space to breathe and the energy and the confidence to take action, the courage to take action. These three systems gave me clarity when I needed to make some super important decisions. Like earlier today, some super important decisions. And now all I got to do is execute, implement. It's done. All right. Back in the day, I remember noticing that, okay, most of my clients are paying about $250 per return. And again, this was like 15 years ago when my first year in business. So most of them I charged like 250. But then I noticed a few where I was only charging 150. And I'm like, why did I do that? What happened there? But again, because I saw the patterns, right? Of all, let's say it was 50 clients and 45 of them is 250, but like the five of them is 150. It gave me that difference in pattern to look at each of those five clients to figure out why and to decide, did a price change need to happen? Did a conversation need to happen? Or am I okay with keeping it as is? And I made whatever decision I made back then, but imagine what this does for you, what knowing your numbers, seeing the patterns does for you. It give you that confidence to know like, oh, this is what's going on. I don't like it and I'm about to do something different. Or this is what's going on. Ooh, clap to myself. I'm doing such a great job. And let's keep doing what I'm doing because it's great, right? But when you don't know, you don't know. And that is a problem in itself. Okay. And that's what structure really does. Structure helps you get your shit together. It helps you get your shit together. And with the quickness at that, I'm you make money move so quick when you know what's going on. So with that said, if you're ready to finally build systems that bring you peace instead of pressure, I want you to join the waitlist for Secured. So, Secured is my new up and coming live group experience where we simplify your money, strengthen your systems, and help you lead with courage. I'm just so excited for this experience that's coming up at the perfect time of the year. So, if a lot of what I said earlier resonated with you, you need to be on the waitlist for Secured. Okay, so the link is below in the description box. So click that link, get yourself on the wait list. And I want you to know you're not bad with money. You're not. You're just ready to lead it differently. You're ready to do it differently. And I'm so ready to show you how. So get on the wait list so you don't miss a thing. All right, so that's it for today. Until next time, peace.